I end up
Put him
putting
back in his
exact
body.
quotes from Nick Spencer prior to Secret Empire. This is the real Steve Rogers. This is not mind control or Cosmic Cube shenanigans. That's all exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Fucking bullshit.
So
This is Cosmic Cube shenanigans. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna put his personality back in his body, and then he's
yeah,
gonna be okay, and he's gonna feel bad about everything,
yeah,
and
and then we
blah
get,
blah blah.
and then we got to deal with at least probably 12 issues of Mark Waid and Captain America Redemption crap that nobody wants to read.
No, I'd rather
So-
just have like a cool Captain America run by Mark Waid and Chris Samney than like him walking around America feeling sorry for himself because he became evil. Like, come on,
Yeah, that's dumb.
bogus.
All right, here we'll get going then. All right, guys, how you doing this week? This is Brandon coming at you along with Trevitt. This is the Marvel Minute, and it was a tough week for books, all around.
Oh boy, yeah.
For the big
Cool.
two. so we
Definitely.
yeah, we had a pretty tough decision for you guys to make, and that's why we heaped these things on you. And you ended up picking Secret Empire number 9, the penultimate issue. So yeah, this is the typical group. Nick Spencer writing, the team of Lionel Francis Yu, Joe Bennett, Jerry Allen Guillen, and Joe Pimentel. God damn, I'm so bad with names.
Alan, I can't say it either. I don't even know.
Yeah, I as soon as I started typing it, I'm like, I'm gonna mess this one up, and I will mess this last one up.
God damn these people and their fucking unpronounceable names. Like,
yeah, I know it's always the artist too. Like I don't usually have a hard time with the writers.
The writer.
Yeah,
no,
but
those
yeah,
inks and colors. Like,
yeah, those are the people that they get from around the world, and you're just like, oh boy, here we go. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna get into this blurb. We're gonna tell you about this Secret Empire number 9 as it comes screeching to a halt. And yeah, penultimate issue, bitches. Trevin and I finally just about made it to the end of this shit show, and a little bit of our sanity in hand to boot. So how does Hydra start to fail, and what is their dirty little backup plan in place just in case they do? Let's discuss people punching each other in this second last issue of Secret Empire with number 9. But actually, it's not the second last issue because there's an Omega after this. So I don't know if this. I guess next issue is technically the penultimate issue, but this is the end of the numbering series. So that's why.
Wait, there's 10. There's 10 and then an Omega.
Yeah, this is the penultimate issue to the penultimate issue, I guess you could say. But yeah, we start things out here with I don't know, the answer to the mystery and the cliffhanger from last issue that's kind of been lingering throughout this event, and that is Kobik ends up spilling the beans about what's been going on in this hazy art reality we've been dealing with. Turns out it's all taking place within. Is it her mind, or is it the Cosmic Cube, or is it basically all just one and the same at this point?
Yeah, it's all just one and the same.
Okay. Yeah. So
it's
Steve
the Cosmic
is
Cube, so
trapped in the Cosmic Cube, who is a sentient little girl, basically, is what we have going down here. And this is his real personality from everything we can tell. Is that what you understand too?
Yes.
Yeah. So she's basically
only he's like bare bones, like without his memories, but it's the goodness of him.
Right. Yeah. So she's basically swapped. I don't know if you want to call it a mind swap, a personality swap. She's exchanged this good version of Steve Rogers for the one currently running Hydra, and then she kind of reveals how I done messed up, you know. They're looking down at this town. I don't know if that's supposed to be Pleasantville or just in a general metaphor for the United States, kind of looking over it in shambles, you know.
I didn't get that either. Like they walk out of the woods and then there's a destroyed town at the bottom of a hill.
Yeah. Is it like her first mistake? It was Pleasantville, right? The first really kind of crossover that led to all the shenanigans.
That's where all of this started with her in particular.
So regardless, they're looking down on a destroyed town, and she realizes she's messed up. So people at this point who have guessed mind control for 300 or cosmic cube shenanigans when this whole thing kind of kicked off, you guys can take solace in the fact you were correct, despite what everybody at Marvel was pretty much saying.
Yeah, trying to deter you from the truth. It's
Yeah.
not about the cosmic cube.
Right? Yeah, they're like, don't look behind the curtain. It's not the cosmic cube, and you open the curtain anyway, and it's the cosmic cube. So we jump from there to Washington D.C. and just catch up on current events. Really concluding things, coming full circle from last issue where Captain America sent goons, mostly Baron Zemo, and some people after who went after the mutants. I forget. Was it?
Oh, Jesus Christ! Who did go after the mutants?
I don't know. It was just last week too. It's not like it was a month ago. God damn, I can't remember either.
I'm blanking out. out.
Maybe we'll memory will jar here in a second. But Baron Zemo's bringing in T'Challa. He's got him and his fragment of the cosmic cube, handing it all over to Cap. And as that's going down, Emma Frost comes strolling in, basically turning herself in at this point, along with her cosmic cube, while trying to spin a deal for the mutants. So she's not really captured per se and brought in. She's come on her own volition, along with Cat Beast, and Sebastian Shaw.
See, now that I remember from the X-Men issue is that she was like, she told him like, I'm not gonna like be captured. I'm gonna come on my own volition, and we're gonna talk this out. And
yeah, I just don't remember who she was saying that to, because it wasn't Cap himself, right?
I think man.
I don't know. It's so bad.
I have no clue. I'm trying to think, and I can't even get. I have the issue right here. I'm gonna grab it right now.
You look, and I'm gonna keep summarizing here, okay? Because it's basically we hit a cliffhanger at this scene as Emma comes strolling into the room with her crew, and check in on the fighting going on outside. So all the heroes have basically escaped the various prisons they've been placed in, with the cosmic people being stuck behind the shield around the earth, and the ground heroes getting out of the Dark Force, and the quote unquote resistance heroes just all converging together in this one area to attempt to take down Hydra's heart. They're all punching each other. You see Cap, you see Hawkeye, it's Spider-Man, the who's who of heroes that they've been featuring in the different crossovers and stuff, all coming together, looking like they're finally taking back some ground and getting the upper hand before Cap Hydra gives the okay for the Hydra version of the Avengers to let loose. So they drop down on this battle. We leave that scene to check back in on Emma, who's having a conversation with Steve and Arnim Zola. You find the answer to that yet, or no?
I had X-Men, the last X-Men Blue. I looked through that. I didn't see shit.
Yeah, I think it's going to be in Secret Empire 8.
I know. I looked through that too. I didn't see it. Okay. It was, that was all like them getting the planetary shield down and all that.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, never mind. It's not that important. Someone can holler at us if you remember. But anyway, Zola, Emma Frost, and Steve basically come to the conclusion, once Steve is in possession of the Cosmic Cube shard, just as the mutants suspected, he wouldn't have any more need for them. So Emma's trying to cut a deal here. He's basically like, I don't care what you have to offer me. No dice for you, and we're going to take back New Tyon. That's what it's called. I always want to say New Titan, but it's not called New Titan.
I say TN or something like that. I don't know.
Okay. Columbus Comic Corner, guys. Let us know what you decide and break our tie here. But anyway, shout out to them. Captain America is basically, yeah, I'm done with you. I'm taking back this area, which is like the California part of the United States. And Emma's like, well, that's a shame. I kind of thought you would say that. So Magneto, why don't you do what you do? He's not present in this room. He's outside kind of sneaking around and starts bringing down, or what looks to be bringing down, Hydra airships, like those giant tentacle ships, right?
Yeah, those things are gigantic and scary looking. Like, well,
Yeah.
then in the first page where it was like right behind the White House and all the tentacles were like coming down
Yeah.
around the White House. I was like, that looks insane.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing that.
I know. I know. Yeah, it's a
The
pretty
scariest
imposing.
thing ever.
It always reminds me of the Brainiac ship too. Every time I've seen it, I'm like, oh, that's the Brainiac ship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does.
But anyway, we end up getting kind of like an earthquake going down on this ship that Magneto's bringing down, and it throws all the mutants and Cap and Zola all over the place as they then start fighting. Now at this point, Cap and Zola sneak out of the room while the fight's going down, and Zola's like, all right, let's stop playing around with this. We got enough of the cosmic cube to be effective, aside from the portion that Barf puked up, right?
Yeah.
That's the only piece they're missing at this point. So they're like, we got enough of a full cube to use our secret weapon. Let's go get this Stark tech that they keep alluding to, which we'll come back to here in a minute after we check back in on people punching each other.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah, it really is. That's a large portion of Secret Empire 9 is just people slugging the hell out of each other. Probably about half the book.
Each other.
Yeah. When Hydra starts taking back control of this battle, it feels like that's when Thor has simply stated he's had enough. Like, he's never really been mind controlled to be on Cap's side or anything. He just kind of joined them. We have gotten a little background info on that throughout the story. But at this point, he's tired of seeing the bad guys do bad things and brings down his axe, which brings down the thunder and disrupts the bad guys' momentum here.
Knocks everybody up in the air.
Yeah.
I don't know if I buy Thor, like, you know,
by
joining Captain America.
Yeah, I know that. Well, especially when he wasn't mind controlled or anything, and then ultimately in the end gets just an unearned turn back to the good side just because he's witnessing things go down.
After all these years being in the Avengers for like so long and being side by side with Cap and seeing everything they fought against, like all of a sudden he's going to be like, well, Cap thinks Hydra's a good idea, so I'm in. Like, there's no questions asked. Like,
and then ultimately, like, here's just the part like I have a problem with here. There's nothing outrageous going down in these panels that would make really Thor reconsider what's going on, because much worse has happened and he hasn't changed his mind. You know, it's not like people are being massively executed here or Las Vegas is being blown off the map that he's suddenly like, I can't deal with this. He's just seeing people get punched and he's like, enough.
Exactly. It makes no sense. All the murder and all the shitty shit, putting in humans in internment camps, like, you know, like Hitler, like, and none of that bothers him. But this is the last straw. People fighting each other, and it's kind of an even fight. Like, nobody's really dying or getting badly hurt. So, you know, maybe more the bad guys than the good guys. And, you know, that's enough. This is my last straw.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing to hinge the story on, and a strange turning point, because he does swing the battle back to the good guy's favor again. And we decide to cut from the fighting and break for a quick comedy hour here with Black Ant and Taskmaster.
Kind of funny.
Yeah, this is, to be honest with you, this is my favorite scene in this issue. You know, it's a funny little scene. But it serves really no bigger meaning to the story other than to get the champions out of captivity. So basically,
very easily too.
Yeah,
like, hey, you know what? We need some shots of you guys hitting people, so we're just gonna let you go right now. Like,
yeah, exactly. So we take a levity break with Black Ant and Taskmaster. They hear the sound of thunder outside, which in their language of interpretation is we're gonna lose boom. So they decide to have a quick change of heart after Thor changes sides, since they're just mercenaries, and have a quick discussion with the imprisoned champions. You know, they basically say, hey, we haven't treated you like total pieces of shit while you've been in jail. Remember, we brought you Shake Shack. We're going to let you out because Thor changed sides. So don't punch us in the face and we'll open this shield.
I like that. Yeah, we let you guys watch TV, and we took you to Shake Shack.
Yeah, we took you Shake Shack. You ever have Shake Shack?
That shit made me laugh. Is that a real thing?
Yeah, no, it's a thing that exists. It was in Maryland when I lived in Maryland. I just never had it. Legit, I
No,
didn't know.
I never even heard of it.
Yeah, it's just a a burger chain with shakes and stuff. So yeah, that's what they're talking about there. But for their good deeds, Miles ends up webbing them to the wall anyway, and the champions now join the fight. Back to the fight. We're just outside, and one by one, the good guys who are the Hydra Avengers just start turning good again through various actions. Like Viv puts antivirus into Vision's head, so he's no longer part of the Hydra mind. So that's his.
She like takes some of it too.
Yeah, basically, he's like, don't do it because it's going to affect you, and she's like, there's something in her, she can take it. I don't know why. She's just a clone of Vision as a female. You know,
I think it's because like she takes half of it, he takes half of it.
Yeah, they're spreading it thin. Yeah, they're spreading it thin. So Vision starts joining the good guys, and then Doctor Strange is trying to perform an exorcism on Scarlet Witch to get the demon out of her that's infected her. Black Panther and Bucky Barnes then start turning the tide on Zola. Where did Bucky come from?
So Doctor Strange brought Jane Foster back, which was a mistake because she just ends up turning right into Jane Foster.
Oh yeah, I forgot that part. I didn't put that in the notes. Yeah, because she was stuck in that other world, right?
Yeah. She was stuck in that other world from that Avengers tie-in, and then he says summon. I don't know if he thinks something big's gonna happen, like she's gonna come in and kick some ass. I mean, she does knock her out, but then she immediately turns into cancer patient Jane.
Yeah, because she doesn't have her hammer.
Yeah, so the hammer's gone, so she's super weak, and like she could die right here. So he didn't do her any favors by bringing her back.
Yeah, and here's like, why didn't she lose her powers before she was sent away? If it's just directly tied to the hammer. Like, why is it only
because she got sent away? I think I think because she was in a separate dimension, like a different form of existence. Like maybe the connection wasn't broken. I don't know. It should have been broken right then and there, I guess.
I thought so too. That's because when she came back and immediately reverted back to Jane, I was like, this is weird. Why did if it's just no hammer, no Thor, then she should not be Thor in the entire story we read that we really actually liked. But
I've seen stuff like that in other forms of media and fiction, like where somebody goes to another dimension and like they lose their powers because of the other dimension. Yeah. So like I guess the same thing could apply. Like she gets to keep her powers because she's in another dimension.
Just reversed in this case.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Bucky comes back. He's with Black Panther, and they distract Zola enough to knock him out. And they're going to go attack Captain America, I guess. But they don't. And then Sharon Carter turns the tide against Dr. Faustus because he thinks he's got her under mind control. And she's like, nope, tricked you. I've been training for this this moment. And poisons his tea, and he passes out.
I feel like there's no consistent aging of Sharon Carter, like between artist to artist. Like some people make her look like an older lady, which I think she's supposed to. Yeah. And then other people just make her look like maybe 5 years older than she was. Like 20. Like
she could be depending what artist draws her. She varies in age, somewhere between 23 and 58. I would say roughly.
Yep.
With the same hairstyle, regardless.
Yeah. Apparently, she warded herself away by constantly listening to Dr. Faustus's voice over and over again, so she could prepare herself not to be mind controlled before, because she's actually the person who murdered Captain America the first. I don't know if it was the first time, but when Brubaker did it.
Yeah. So she's trained for his mind control after going through it at probably one point in the past, and just become immune to it, and been playing along until she could poison his tea.
Yeah. But not lethal poison, so he could live to fuck her up another day.
Right. Yeah, I don't want to kill the guy that's mind controlling you to do awful shit.
Ruin the country.
That would make this whole victory hollow, so we don't do that. Anyway, the events begin concluding with Sharon attempting to take down all the Hydra warships, because she concludes, again, that since this is the real Cap, he hasn't changed any of his passwords to to control all this stuff. So she doesn't even have to really hack the computers to do this. And then the Cosmic Cube Hydra has collected. They merge all these pieces together and jam it into this special Stark armor they've gotten their hands on that they've painted Hydra colors conveniently, with some upgrades added along from Arnim Zola. And Cap gets into this suit, screams. He's basically all powerful at this point. He's got the power of the Cosmic Cube wedged into this suit.
I know. I guess it hurts to get all that energy or whatever.
So it's basically Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet at this point, and we're gonna wrap this up in one issue. Here's my problem. I would like to see more than one issue of that. Like if this was your ultimate plan, like why not do this sooner? I know you didn't have all the pieces of the cube, but get in this suit, and as you're getting pieces of the cube, start adding them into the suit, you know, and become more powerful and more dangerous. It sucks.
The worst part about this is like, I'm sorry, go ahead. What do you say?
I just said it sucks and feels anticlimactic. He gets in this suit, is all powerful, and it's going to be done in one issue, essentially, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because that suit, he can control reality. Like, he could just walk out there and be like, disappear, and they all disappear. So it's like, he can completely end this whole thing and just be in control, but that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah, he has the power of the Infinity Gauntlet, basically, at this point. And so we check back in on Kubik. Is it Kobik or Kubik?
I say Kobik.
Okay, Kobik. We're back in.
I only say Kobik because I think I heard you say Kobik one time, and I was like, okay,
Kobik. I don't know. And you know what? I think I've spelled it 2 or 3 different times in these notes, and spell check didn't call me out on any of them, so it stays that way. Back in her mind, we start finally getting some clarification as to all the events that have gone down and taken place, as to, you know, who these people were. Sharon Carter and his mom were the blonde girls that kept popping up, I guess. Before Kubik ultimately ends up running away when Steve gets in this suit, is from what I understood, because now she's scared.
What suit?
See,
the actual.
Yeah, like
like because he put that suit on, there's more of a connection now, so he has access to the memories of the man who is close to the Cosmic Cube, so he could see everything that Steve did.
Which basically translate to an earthquake going down in this reality they're in inside her mind, and this scares her as she runs off away from the good Steve. I mean, this is all hard to explain. This Cosmic Cube mind stuff.
It's just nonsense, is what it is.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I know. Because Steve can use the power, but really there's basically an out built into this Cosmic Cube Hydra's put together, because Kobik is just a little girl who's confused about what she's doing. And the second she changes her mind, Steve's plans go to shit. The Steve on Earth.
Yeah, she was manipulated by the Red Skull, like very bad. Like he treated her like, you know, like kind of like a daughter, and like totally convinced her that she was doing the right thing and making the world a better place. So like right now her reality's shattering, that she was wrong, and now she's got the Steve, you know, the good Steve to deal with. So it's just freaking her out. And she's like, I ruined the world. It's too late.
Yeah. So she runs away from the problem, and good Steve is left staring at this golden fountain of memories, and I don't know what's going to happen here. Anything. I mean, it's Cosmic Cube shenanigans. I mean, Nick Spencer can literally write anything here, and you know, you can give her, you could like it or not like it, but anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Is basically what I'm trying to say.
If he dives into that pond and ends up like inserting himself into the real Steve's body, I'm gonna die.
Yeah, you think that's what's gonna? I don't even have any idea what's gonna happen. I
don't know.
This pond threw me right out of it. I'm like, I don't know now. You know what I'm just like, whatever.
I'm just saying, like, it sounds like the most ridiculous thing to me, so I'm assuming that it could be a possibility.
Yeah. I mean, that makes the most sense out of anything I've thought of, you know. So I didn't really have an idea, and so I'll go with yours. That's really what I'm getting at there. But then we get to our cliffhanger. We see our hero's success this issue all turn in a moment as Stevie Boy comes wandering out in his Cosmic Cube suit and just, I don't know, punches the ground or does something, makes an explosion happen, knocks all the heroes all over everywhere to reveal what I call the all new, all different Hydra Cap as the issue concludes. So yeah,
It's like
that's
Black Panther all scared, and he's like, "Listen to me, run!" And then boom.
yeah. All I thought about is, damn it, Black Panther, get your giant tiger dude that you just took down every cosmic being in the world with, and take this dude out, will you?
Was this a Stark suit made for Cap, and they just painted it different colors? Like, I mean, look at it. It looks like if Stark made this, that it looks like he had Captain America in mind.
Yeah, he had to. Or they also did say Zola made a few adjustments to the Stark tech, so I don't know if this is who did what, like what Stark did, what Zola did. In my mind, all Zola did was alter it so it could accept the Cosmic Cube instead of like an arc reactor or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. He just made it so you could put that in there.
Yeah,
Stark didn't have that in mind,
yeah, and this was like a, you know, I in my mind also, Tony has a suit for every goddamn hero hidden somewhere in his basement.
Probably.
So anyway, the cliffhanger we just went over. That's how this bad boy ends, just with the big page of Cap in the new suit. And should you buy, borrow, or forget this thing? I don't know. For really what this is, it's just a superhero punch fest. That's what it's devolved into. I thought with the care Nick Spencer claimed he put into it and all that, you know, I thought it'd be a little more twisty, turny ending, and it's really not that at all. So there's a little disappointment in that, because I just thought it was a more planned out story than you know, just a typical Marvel event. Everybody punch each other, solve the problem, and everything's back to normal, you know. We are, I don't know if we said this before we got started or not, so I'll say it again. Exact quotes from like Nick Spencer prior to Secret Empire. This is the real Steve Rogers, and this is not mind controller Cosmic Cube shenanigans going down, which is all just basically semantics and ways of them getting around it. Were just it taking place in Kobik's mind. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't Steve's mind. It's Kobik's mind. We tricked you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just another Marvel event story that everybody predicted it was. At least the art in the series, I think this was the best art we've seen so far for the main event story. But I'm just ready for the beat down to commence on Cap to get this over with. Overall, the issue wasn't trash. It's an action issue, which I'm kind of always partial to. I enjoy those. So I don't think it's complete garbage. Forget it altogether. But it's not anything more than the lowest level of borrow at the same time. So that's where I'm going to lean. Not a bad story. I'm just not super interested in any more of the developments that I'm being given. And it's just, you know, developed into a paint by numbers event book. And when you're dealing with Marvel event fatigue, it's the last thing you wanted to read, which is what I'm going through right now. So low level borrow. What do you think?
Okay. I'm going to start.
You have
probably the last time I ever get to talk about this.
We'll say this real quick, because Trevitt has way more of an investment in this entire story than I do, because essentially I've jumped on after only reading the first arc of Cap to Secret Empire. So you've read, you know, all the tie-ins that you found interesting, and all the Cap leading up to this. So
all the Cap,
I would put more weight into your ultimate opinion than mine, which I'm just looking at it as a Marvel event book and not a entire story with investment on my behalf, you know? So that's where we vary in the two opinions. With that being said, go ahead.
So, I mean, first off, honestly, I liked some of the tie-ins. I liked more than I liked the actual event, and not specifically the Captain America tie-ins. I thought the Captain America run took a nosedive, started to take a nosedive once this event started. Yeah. Like, it was really good leading up to it, and it was interesting. And Sam Wilson was too. Like, there's a lot of, I won't go into detail, it'll take too long, but a lot of cool, crazy stuff went on in those books. But then, you know, when this event started, they both started to get really, really watered down. But the other tie-ins were really good surrounding it because, the writers fit their own storylines into it, and it worked out well. As far as this goes, the covers have been fantastic. Lionel Francis Yu does a great job in this issue. Rod Reese does a fantastic job. When she says "remember" in the beginning, so Steve, I don't know, he doesn't seem to get his memory back until she takes, maybe his own memories back, but not Stevel's. But when she says "remember" to him and her eyes are glowing, her face just looks crazy. Looks really good. And the splash page, the first splash page by Yu, going into it was really good too. Of the big fight scene of everybody just hitting each other, which we get so many pages. Like, it's like a 40-page book, I think. How many pages? 40 pages.
Yeah.
Including the cover. And there are so many pages dedicated to not too much dialogue, just someone narrating. I still have no fucking clue who's narrating. I don't know.
I don't either.
A woman's voice or a man's voice, but whoever it is, I always imagine
Nick Spencer's voice. I don't think it's anybody but just a general narrator.
It is Nick Spencer's voice. But there are so many pages that are just punch, and we lost hope, we found hope. That's the narration. That's all it is. We thought it was going to get better, but it got worse. But then it got better because we had hope. And it's just a constant flow of that through 40 pages. But it's not exactly what I thought it was going to be like. I thought it would be way more interesting, and he did build up a lot of dire circumstances that paid off for the good guys, I guess, but not for anybody else. Not for the reader. It's it's all the same tropes. Everything you've ever read in any kind of event, it's all here. All the bag of tricks is right here. It's the same stuff that you've seen before. It's if you just want a mindless popcorn flick, that's what this is. It's just you just wait for Legacy. Just forget it. I mean, it's not too awful or anything. It's there's nothing new. And the art was inconsistent, incredibly, because it was bi-weekly and it was just too fast. Too big of a story, too fast, and it just didn't work out because of that. So sorry.
Yeah, I would say really for the overall event as a whole, judging it at this point with the conclusion just around the corner next week, it's not anything you need to read. If you read Legacy, you're going to get all the summary you need to understand this.
Yeah.
And if
you're going to start a bigger, more interesting story there. So.
Yeah. And if you're a fan of event comics and you just, like them, read it and you might get something out of it. But it's just overall just another in a long line. That's about it. So yeah, it's going to wrap up the Marvel Minute this week. You guys looking for us, you can always find us on, talking a little more Marvel on the Marvel Madness Comics podcast, or individually on Twitter. I'm at Beamer3660. Trevitt, where are you at, man?
I am at Afronaddict.
And we're going to wrap up this party. You guys can catch us all there. We'll talk later on this week. Peace out.